Going on YouTube, back with another video. Hey, bro, I just want to say I appreciate y'all. We 200 subs away from 2,000, bro. I can't believe I'm finna hit 2K subs, but we back with the Munna Duke Get Back Goes Wrong story. I want to say RIP to all these guys in this story. RIP to all the guys in the streets and stuff. I don't condone that. I don't look up to that lifestyle. None of that. I hate that shit. I'm against the streets 100%. I'm anti-street. I don't fuck with that shit. That goofy ass gangbanging, I don't fuck with it, but this is educational purposes, and hopefully I can reach some young boys, who grew up in the hood like me and like the people in this video. Hopefully I can sway them to my side of the stick instead of being on Munna Duke and them side, you know what I'm saying? Because all these guys could still be alive, chasing their dreams, taking care of their kids, but they dead, over nothing, over a beef that probably got something to do with a girl. So yeah, I don't condone this. I don't look up to this shit, none of that. Just, hopefully it's a learning experience for everybody.
Munna Duke has always been considered to have been one of the most respected members of O Block. Even the notorious King Von, a drill rap icon.
What do respect in the hood get you, bro? Respect in the hood, it don't get your credit score higher. It don't do nothing, like nothing in the hood correlates or even relates to nothing in real life, bro, at all, bro. All that hood respect and shit. Fuck that hood respect. You can respect from niggas who don't got nothing going on in their life, bro. That shit goofy, bro.
And an alleged serial killer with 7 bodies immortalized Duke's menacing reputation on his track Beat That Body, where he boasted about taking Duke on hits with him and giving him the menacing nickname King Kong. But the question is, what had Duke done in the streets to make King Von give him such a name? Even though Duke never lived in the Parkway Gardens, aka the O Block housing projects, his destiny was intertwined with that community from early on.
Now,
damn, he never lived
still there? Reside in O Block today, or you've moved out since then?
Oh, no, I don't live in that, no. I don't live in that, dog. I thought it was where I was raised at, like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's back up. You were raised in O Block from about 8, 9 till when?
I never lived in there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's true. I never lived in there. I just
Chicago weird. How do you claim somewhere but you, like, where I'm from, you gotta live there and grow up there to claim it. Like, how the fuck do Chicago
around in that neighborhood? You know what I'm saying?
His family had moved just outside O Block when he was just 8 years old, while having first spent his early years in the so-called Calumet building, aka the Randolph Tower, located only about a block away from Parkway. This building was home to many kids who would later become members of O Block, while at the time it acted as a headquarters for an infamous Black Disciple faction that ran a massive drug operation from there during the 90s and early 2000s, before the building was ultimately demolished in the mid-2000s.
No, I was in that area, like in that vicinity, you know what I'm saying? And once my project got too down, I kind of moved right there, you know what I'm saying, to O Block when I was kind of like a kid.
Duke has opened up in interviews about how his youth was a harsh landscape of poverty and uncertainty.
I grew up, goddamn it, sleeping on the floor, you know what I'm saying, with a house full of people, you know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like a...
And he was also mentioned how he was haunted by the fear of possibly not seeing his own 18th birthday.
Is something gonna happen to me, or will I be able to make it to see this age, you know? So.
The halls of elementary and high school served as a breeding ground for alliances and animosities. Other kids who would later become members of affiliated gangs like Lamron, 600, and Front Street.
Oh yeah, we all grew up together. Like, we all went to the same grammar school, you know? We all went to the same grammar school. And it just went from there, you know? Grammar school to high school, and to the age we is now.
And members of rival gangs like 051 Young.
Look at Chicago, bruh. These niggas hoods is little. Look at this shit, bro. Imagine if these niggas beefing with all these niggas. They probably getting, bro. I ain't even trying to be funny, bro, but damn, these niggas probably be getting nailed every day, bro. Like, they gotta share the same stories, bro. Ain't no way. I wonder how they even come up with how the fuck they know which blocks and shit, like, the borderline. How the fuck they be knowing which is they side and shit, like. It's some niggas from this hood who probably live over here and shit. Some niggas from 600 who probably live over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck they even... I don't know, bro. Street's weird, bro.
Who were located on the other side of Washington Park.
We went to school with a lot of them from 51st Young Money. There was a lot of ass, and I ain't gonna lie. A lot of, like, Rockhead and all their ass, I think. Arrow, all them.
As he got older, Duke would become very close with many of the O Block's most infamous members, including O.D. Perry, T-Roy, and of course King Von. By the age of 14 in 2008, Duke's entanglement with the law became a defining chapter, and his early and frequent arrests and incarcerations led to him dropping out of high school, while also effectively sidelining him during Chief Keef's early ascent to the top of the drill movement in the early 2010s and the subsequent explosion of King Von's rap career in the late 2010s too.
I'd say Von was a top moment, but I wasn't around for it. I was kind of locked up, but that was like a top moment.
But when he would be free, between those time periods, Duke plunged head
This shit making my hair hurt, bro. It's fucking white as fuck, bro. Damn.
into the streets. As mentioned
My
earlier,
bad, y'all. I
the
had
tragic
concussions and shit in high school, bro. I'm sensitive to light. That shit make
of
my
T.
hair
Roy
hurt.
ignited a firestorm of vengeance within O Block, and the summer of 2017, named the Summer of GetBack, became synonymous with the chilling moniker the GetBack Gang, as O Block members were out for revenge. Later on, whispers
Bro. Oh, yeah, if I ain't see my shoe video, go watch that shit, man. Shout out to GOAT.
in the streets and rumors on the internet have often pointed to Munna Duke having been one of the central figures in this series of retaliatory killings that followed T. Roy's death.
I did this story, bro.
The bloodshed began on May the 14th, 2017, as Warren Delton, known in Jaro City as Lil Ho, became the alleged victim of the GetBack Gang. As he stood with a group near 62nd and Eberhart, only a few minutes' drive from O Block, four shadowy figures emerged from an alley. Three unleashed a hail of gunfire that struck Lil Ho down, and in a brutal display, at least one shooter stood over his fallen body, delivering multiple final shots before vanishing back into the streets. The case remains unsolved, and the perpetrators a mystery to this day. But many key GetBack Gang members, such as McAdoo from 600 and E-Dog, Bleach, and Duke from O Block, are regularly considered to be the main suspects.
How do them niggas be knowing this shit, bro?
Days after Lil Ho's murder, on May the 22nd, the violence continued as Jamie Jones, known in the streets as MOB Jamo, was driving westbound on 59th Street at LaSalle when an occupant of another vehicle opened fire, striking him multiple times. Authorities identified him as a gangster disciple, and his death occurred in the heart of a known gang conflict zone. Though concrete evidence would again remain elusive, the hand of the GetBack Gang was once again suspected, with rumors placing 600 members, McAdoo and Cap, and O Block members, Duke and HK, at the scene. The violence continued a month later. On June the 16th, Taekwondo World member Gerard Rhyme, better known as Poppy, was at his workplace at the L&P Foods and Candy Warehouse on the corner of 71st and State Street.
The victim, worked at this candy store.
Shortly after 3 p.m.,
Damn, bro was at work. Why you get a job knowing
the act of assisting a customer would turn
you
deadly.
supposed to work in the birds, bro.
When a shooter suddenly appeared from a four-door vehicle, firing multiple shots at point-blank range before quickly getting back to the vehicle, which would then flee northbound.
Okay, approach 363 Adam. It was a dark four-door vehicle. The subject jumped out, shot at close range, got back in, and fled northbound on State.
3 of these shots would hit Poppy's head, and he would have no chance of surviving. The brazen murder had several witnesses who offered a description of the shooter, around 6 feet tall with dreadlocks and face concealed by a mask.
Male black, 6 foot with dreads and a white t-shirt and jeans.
Initial suspicions fell on T. Roy's brother, HK, who was seen flaunting his T. Roy pendant in the aftermath of the murder, as if sending a message that he had indeed avenged his brother's death. And after this incident, HK, or Heck as he was known at the time, would get his nickname, the initials HK actually being short for Headshot King. But while the murder of Poppy has always been attributed to HK,
No, see that these niggas is demonic, bro. I don't know if these niggas is human, bro.
Chip would get more complex, as members of Taekwondo World would heavily memorialize Poppy after Duke's murder, perhaps hinting at a deeper and more direct connection between Duke and Poppy's killing. The witness's description of the shooter was a tall figure with dreads.
I mean, they did kill his brother, though. He low-key got a point a little bit. They killed his brother, bro. Niggas killed my brother, bro. I don't even speak that shit to them.
That would chillingly align more closely with Munna Duke's appearance at the time, who was both taller than HK and had slightly longer dreadlocks. This convincing some that Poppy's killer had indeed actually been Duke, while it's also possible that he might well have been the driver for the hit. The following year, on June the 16th, 2018, the bloodshed revisited the streets. It was around 9:50 p.m.
Look how close these niggas' hoods is, bro. O Block. 1, 2, 3. 63rd right here, bro. Ain't no way. O Block. Damn.
The men were gunned down outside of a restaurant on the 400 block of the East 63rd Street. Only
How the fuck? My bad, y'all. I gotta call this my iMac and shit. How the fuck do I fix this? There it go. Damn, is my shit moved, bro?
Stone's throw away from O-Block, Troy Hampton, an innocent janitor aged 43, was struck in the chest, dying at the scene, while 22-year-old DeAndre Wallace, known as Get Right or Man Man from STL-EBT, also fell victim to the hail of bullets, succumbing to his wounds in the hospital. Surveillance footage painted a grim picture, showing two shooters running up and relentlessly targeting both victims, even continuing to fire it.
Killed that innocent man, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't know how y'all niggas condone that shit. That's some goofy shit, bro.
Right as he lay helpless on the ground. And while officially unsolved, online theories have pointed strongly towards two members of O-Block, Munna Duke and the infamous shooter from the younger generation called Muwop. In the same month, King Von ominously tweeted about a new op pack that his brothers had created.
All bro was doing was working, bro. Y'all gonna kill that man, bro. Y'all some goofies, bro. I ain't gonna
O-Block veteran E-Dog added fuel to the fire, posting a picture featuring Muwop and Duke, accompanied by the caption, "You better get right or get left," a phrase also used in other social media posts that featured both Muwop and Duke. Muwop himself would share a photo with Duke.
Ain't this bro who in jail for killing FBG Duck?
What fans speculated was
this nigga crazy, bro.
Reenacting the murder.
He was cool at rapping. He wasn't the best, but he had that one song. Nobody move, nobody ever hard. Bro.
Makes a gun with his fingers, pointing directly at the camera, while Duke's gun fingers point towards the ground, like he's standing over somebody and shooting, with Muwop captioning the post, saying that people have no idea what type of bond they have together, while ending with the cryptic line that the picture speaks for itself. King Von's track Problems, again, would also eerily mirror the details of this horrific incident, with lyrics describing shooting both the target and a witness, while King Von can even be seen gesturing towards Duke in the track's music video right after he raps these lines. After earning his stripes in the streets, and unfortunately losing King Von, who at the time of his runaway rap career looked like O-Block's ticket out the streets, Duke himself would start rapping in 2021, with what appeared to be his first ever song, 12 AM. A clear homage to King Von's 2020 song, 3 AM, Duke even interpolated Von's flow in his version of the track, while the song as a whole was an incredibly disrespectful diss towards O-Block's dead enemies, with one lyric referencing a shooting where a woman got hit, rapping that even if a girl gets hit, he doesn't give a F, because he's trying to do his ops like FBG Duck, who was famously shot dead by O-Block members who would also hit.
Families loves fresh strawberry.
This nigga chocolate Ross, bro.
Hit the woman that he was with. Duke would also give a shout out to one of Duck's killers, C Murder, as well as shouting out Heck, or the Headshot King, rapping how they are, the GetBack gang, kind of implying that HK was his alleged partner in crime and the potential shooter or driver during the hit on Taekwon World member Poppy. Duke would also rap about lurking in the streets trying to kill their ops so much that they forget to even eat dinner, while proudly repping his King Kong nickname that King Von gave him, and saying that you can't even hang out with him if you haven't killed someone. The song also had a music video where Duke could be seen rapping in O-Block, flanked by some of the most notorious members like E-Dog and Muwop. Fans loved the song, with many saying that he even had some of King Von's spirit in him, and that they were excited for Duke having a bright future in the rap game. Duke followed that up with songs like Winnin' and Right Back, where he rapped about doing drills where the witness was killed too, with some believing that this is another reference to the janitor that was killed on the Get Right hit. The song was an instant classic. One comment said that Duke was even picking up where King Von left off, and another called Duke 3 for 3 as a rapper. For fans that were longing for that Von-esque flow on hard-hitting beats, Duke appeared to be someone that they could bet on.
I ain't gonna lie, he was cool at rapping that one song called Everybody Suspect, they acting like hood. That bitch hard. I ain't gonna lie, I listen to that shit, but just because I listen to their music, that don't influence me in no type of way, though. That's the difference between me and y'all goofies. Y'all goofies. Y'all listen to this shit and get influenced to want to live their life. I look at music how I look at the WWE and like Cartoon Network and shit. I look at that shit as like entertainment, bro. I don't look at that shit how y'all look at that shit, bro. Like if it's a good beat, flow hard, I'll play that shit. I ain't gonna lie. But I don't let that shit influence me though.
Game. Duke also collaborated with other O-Block rappers like Ocho Munna and Prince Dre on the remix.
You can't deny good music, my nigga. It's like you just can't, bro. Like I don't listen to it on the daily. When I'm working out or something, I got to, my nigga. Like I ain't with really all the diss songs and shit, but I listen to some like that song right here, this song I was just talking about. It's hard.
Being It song, followed by the songs No Hook and Off the Porch.
And, then DQ, what's that? A Millie freestyle, that bitch hard. I listen to that shit.
onto one of his biggest releases of his career,
Ain't
this
really
interestingly being his
really,
first
they just
international collaboration with the UK rapper
up-tempo.
Millions. Their track 10-0 was an epic collab where Millions actually went to O Block and shot a music video with all the iconic O Block members, with Duke rapping lyrics about a murder eerily resembling Get Right's, saying that he caught someone lacking in front of the store. The video even ended in a respectful chain swap between these two international drill artists. Duke was making big moves internationally with his music. There would also be a rumor that Duke had seemingly tapped in with Central C's most feared op, Digga D, for a collab. While nothing officially got released, a leaked track called Legally Blind featured the two artists, with Digga immediately dissing a dead op that they've been smoking on so much that he believes that he's now the UK's Tuka. And Munna Duke would rap about being a 13-year-old shooter looking for a body and then walking up and shooting at close range. Duke was getting a lot of motion as a rapper, and he kept releasing singles and music videos all the way through 2022. Then, leading up to the release of his full project, Munna Duke would release the track Passenger Side, rapping that he didn't cry after Von died, but he still planned on getting GetBack, a message most likely aimed at Quando Rondo and Lil Tim, suggesting that the GetBack gang might still be out looking for blood. While Duke would also shout out the up-and-coming generations of O Block. Then, in August 2023, he released a full project called Welcome to the Jungle, the title and cover art
Damn, he
being a
released. I
clear
ain't
nod
even
to the
listened to that. I might have to check that out. Well, 12 a.m. already listened to that. I think this the song I was just rapping. I might have to check it out.
O Block housing projects. Duke promoted the project with music videos like the song Intro, where he introduced himself as having money to support his mama by buying her a house, his gang by buying them a chain, whilst also paying for many lawyers. Releasing a full mixtape was a huge achievement for Duke, because in a world where few people survive or even start a music career, let alone having the focus to complete a full body of work, is a monumental achievement. But Duke wasn't slowing down, and he would keep putting out music, like his guest verse on perhaps the longest running O Block veteran Boss Top song, Get Back Gang, a song that unsurprisingly paid tribute to the Get Back Gang's brutal campaign of revenge after T-Roy's murder. The song also featured the O Block legend E-Dog as well as the late Zell Munna. On the track, Duke proudly claimed
Bro.
his King Kong nickname while rapping how he's back in heck mode after running after ops and claiming that he puts hits on people for $10,000, as well as promising to slide twice as hard on ops to avenge both T-Roy and King Von. Unfortunately, it was ultimately this very ethos of never-ending Get Back that would likely become Munna Duke's own undoing, and, like it often happens, the Get Back would come when he least expected it. On May the 10th, 2025, Munna Duke and Youngin headed to the north side of Chicago to the Edgewater neighborhood for a fun night out, as they were celebrating fellow O-Block veteran Gleesh's birthday. They would spend the night at the Pork Chop Barbecue Restaurant and Bar on the 6300 block of North Broadway. But as their evening at the restaurant came to a close, and Duke, Youngin, and their group exited the restaurant, at least two gunmen, who had reportedly been hanging out in front of the restaurant waiting for them, would jump out of a vehicle, firing at least 50 shots, hitting Duke, Youngin, and a third man who some thought to have been Domo from the 600 set, the brother of the founder of 600 called D-Thang. Unfortunately, both Youngin and Duke would tragically pass away.
This nigga chocolate Ross, bro. Damn, that's sad. Them niggas. Damn, bro.
Thankfully, the third man ended up surviving. The aftermath of the shooting was recorded by passers-by that showed Youngin's lifeless body laying on the pavement. An officer familiar with the investigation told newspapers how security video showed the gunman escaping in a stolen Infiniti Q50, which cops found less than 2 hours after the shooting, abandoned and burning on the 600 block of East 134th Place, almost 30 miles south from the scene of the shooting in the far south side. Munna Duke had posted a story on his social media just 6 hours before the incident, his last Instagram story featuring him in the car with whom many believed to be Youngin, Domo, and Domo's sister, listening to G Herbo and flexing jewelry including his O-Block chain. Meanwhile, Youngin's last post was ominously captioned, "We outside, DM the gang for the location," and Youngin too would be spotted wearing his O-Block chain at the gathering. It would be one such O-Block chain, allegedly splattered with blood, that Duke and Youngin's alleged killers would post not long after the murder, snatched off an O-Block member's corpse, or at least that's what the posters wanted everyone to think. News of the deaths began to spread quickly online, with associates confirming Munna Duke and Youngin's passing through heartfelt posts, including those members of O-Block who were particularly close with the two, like Muwop, Duke's alleged right-hand man in the murder of Get Right. Munna Duke had also recently become a father, welcoming a child with the former partner of OTF D-Thang, the late brother of rapper Lil Durk. But following him and Youngin's death,
this what the streets get you, bro. Somebody from O Block finna have her, or somebody from 600 somewhere finna have her. But this nigga had her, he died. He had her, he died. Bro, the hood, I'm telling you, bro, that lifestyle ain't shit, bro.
it wasn't just
Now
those close.
Look, she got 2 kids. This look like 2 kids, and then she got 1 right here. Both of them dead.
Paying their respects, as the well-known ops of O Block, like STL, EBT, Taekwon World, and Gyro City, would immediately begin to troll on social media. Taekwon World members paying tribute to their fallen friend Poppy, displaying to the long-held rumour that Duke had been involved in his murder. But surprisingly, none of them would pay tribute to Get Right, which many people on Reddit would argue was actually proof that Duke wasn't one of the shooters in that case. But meanwhile, O Block and their younger generations like TSG would make social media posts promising GetBack, with members of TSG announcing to the world, and probably the police, that they were already busy sliding.
If I was from 63rd, I ain't gonna lie, I'm moving out the hood, bro. They finna spank y'all ass, boy. I can't even be mad, because they laughing at them dying, and it's a cycle. I mean, all these niggas gonna have to die anyway, so.
Their ops, posting on social media,
As long as the kids safe, I ain't gonna lie, fuck these niggas. I ain't trying to be rude,
and that
they too deep in the streets, bro. The only way they gonna learn to get out is their own self, bro. They been told their whole life to get out the streets, bro. If they not out by the time they're like 21, they just gonna have to mature on their own, bro. Nobody gonna help them out. They won't, unless you reach physically and pull them out. Take care of a grown-ass man. They just gonna have to learn the hard way.
Gone into hiding, knowing that O Block was on hunting time. But who they were hunting is a completely different matter, as it seems that when it comes to the possible suspects, there are many different theories. One of the leading drill reporters in Chicago, or drill historian as he calls himself, Truth Teller TV, suggests that the murder may well have been in retaliation for the murder of rapper FBG.2, meaning that the suspects may be from the sets close by O Block, like STL EBT, aka Tukaville, where Duck was from, or possibly Taekwon World, which has many members closely affiliated.
Stay in the house, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Every time somebody from O Block died, them niggas be causing too much ruckus.
Duck said,
"You know, it's a real war. It's already talk in the street that this is get back for FBG.2. And they did this for FBG.2. I'm not sure. I don't want to throw that out, you know. But I can see.
If that's not true, he wrong though, cause he know how O Block gonna do, bro. He tripping.
With targeted.
It's little kids outside, bro. He tripping, bro. Hell no, bro. It's probably little kids and shit walking around over there. All the members probably put up, bro. This nigga.
The streets are talking, and people saying this revenge.
Niggas don't even know.
Another YouTuber from Chicago, also known as a Gyro City original and a close friend of FBG.2, FYB J-Main, would take to his YouTube channel to comment on the situation, racking up hundreds of thousands of views within a matter of days, and reporting on the murders with a somber tone, despite being from the rival area.
Sad day in Chicago, bruh. 2 of the main old Blockians lost their lives last night, bro, due to gun violence in Chicago, bro. We don't know what's going on, bro.
I fuck with J-Main. He pushing the peace, bro. That's all I want to do, bro. Fuck the streets, bro. I'm tired of that shit. I don't know how y'all not tired of this shit, bro. That shit. All they do is niggas die, go to jail. Kids growing up with no pops, they in the same thing as their dad was, because they ain't got their dad. That's all that's gonna happen, bro.
So it's kind of early to start pointing fingers and all of that. It's never a good feeling when you lose a brother, you lose somebody who close to you, you even lose somebody a friend that you could be able to call.
As those who have followed the Chicago drill scene know, despite J-Main's previous involvement in the gang war as a member of a gang who was some of the main rivals of O Block, he spent the last few years pushing peace in the Chicago drill community and trying to build bridges between people from rival gangs, even visiting O Block himself in vlogs while attempting to repair the fractures between these two warring communities.
Do y'all homework on I got one of the original old Blockians taking me to the O right now. Let us start here.
You ready up? Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah. We represent that Muslimitic, man. Represent that Muslimitic live here in O Block. We got J-Main, we got DQ from O Block. We bring it, man. We making peace. We pushing peace and prayer on purpose. Alhamdulillah, the brothers gonna make peace right here on camera. Man, Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar.
However, not everyone was welcoming J-Main with open arms, and during a subsequent visit to
It's always that
O-Block, he
one
was
nigga,
forced to
bro.
flee the scene after O-Block veteran E-Dog turned up, furious about J-Main making comments about him in interviews.
He got me on DJ.
Munna Duke had actually come out after this visit and
Wanna know how to
Yeah, bro, on DJU.
dissed J-Main too, suggesting that it was disrespectful of him to pose with his cereal brand in front of King Von's mural whilst also wearing a ski mask. It's understandable why O-Block members might have felt some type of way, because before J-Main was pushing peace, he was known for pulling stunts like going to O-Block with a machine gun on him. After apparent pressure behind the scenes, J-Main would take to his channel once again, giving a chilling update on how he's been warned about pushing peace with his former rivals, given just how deadly the beef still is.
Buff was telling me now, J-Man, you better keep it on you now. Two old blockians just got whacked. You, even the Whoop man out here pushing this piece, and you out here trying to stop the violence the whole time. When like this happen, it's kind of a smack in the face. Do something different in my life, bro. Either you gonna respect me or you not.
But somewhat surprisingly, suspicions on the culprits of this double murder would also begin to fall on O-Block's former friends, Front Street, as online sleuths would claim that the person in the pictures holding the O-Block chain while wearing a ski mask was actually a Front Street member called Bawop, who, according to online detectives, is tied to at least 2 other murders, these being towards Front Street and O-Block's common enemies, the murder of Cord from STL EBT in 2021 and Lil Take from Taekwon World in 2022. Then, another leaked image would get posted on Reddit, showing another alleged member of Front Street wearing the same chain, the caption simply being a series of laughing emojis. But as the person who had posted the image would notice that it had been shared on Reddit, he would seemingly decide to delete his entire Instagram account, with the Redditors predicting that their self-snitching had made certain that they would get caught. Meanwhile, O-Block would catch wind of the rumours floating around the net, with both Ike Munna and Ocho Munna commenting on a post saying that the chain isn't Youngun's or Duke's. And in reality, it seems unlikely that anyone would spend time trying to remove a chain off someone's neck in such a public place, not knowing if the victim...
These niggas sick. They done got themselves for some shit, because they want clout. Why would you post in your close friends? Like, this nigga goofy.
Friends were going to return fire at any moment. Meanwhile, other Reddit detectives...
Chicago police garbage, though. I ain't gonna lie. Chicago police garbage, bro.
...pointed out how the getaway vehicle was found burning literally right next to the Old Geld Gardens, the home of OTF Chuckies, an Action Savages ghoulie gang, aka Blood.
He said he snatched both Top Gun and popped him with it.
While their members would...
Damn.
...post subliminal Instagram posts, like an emoji showing 2 fingers up, this seemingly implying that they had just caught 2 of their ops. If these rumours are true, this could mean that O-Block is about to face some very difficult times, and the question becomes, who would Lil Durk and his OTF affiliates side with?
Like, Lil Durk is in jail. He not siding with nobody, bro. And even if he get out, bro, business over his goofy street shit, bro. He making money off Chucky.
Friends from O-Block, who have done many things with Durk and for Durk, but who have recently lost many key members due to death or prison, or Ghoulie Gang, whose rapper Chucky is currently one of the top artists on Lil Durk's OTF label, which desperately needs somebody to bring in money, now that Durk will likely stay locked up for a long time. Many people seem to think that this case could be solved any day now, if the Chicago police are just willing to allocate some of the required resources, but they often take their time, and only time will tell if anyone is going to face justice. So for now, I just want to say rest in peace to Munna Duke and Youngun.
RP all them dudes, bro. Still standing on what I said. Fuck the streets. I hate the streets, my nigga. The streets goofiest thing you could do with your life, bro. I hope they all make it. I hope they all grow up and realize it, bro. But see, some people just gotta, bro. I'm real, bro. I'm not gonna tell y'all what y'all want to hear. I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to hear. Some of them just gonna die and go to jail. It is what it is. Shit don't hurt me. Shit, that's their fault. I'm trying to tell y'all niggas, y'all young niggas who watching this, I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. But if you don't listen to me, you're just gonna be dead, nigga. Simple. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, bro.